Hey, everybody, welcome in. It is the Bullpen. It's Friday. I'm Tony Mack. That's Tricky Ricky. We are not live at the Toyota Field that we're used to. We are actually live the Trash Pandas team store here on Hughes Road in Madison. It's lunchtime. I know there is a ton of people driving around. I got stuck in the traffic getting down here. I know that people are hungry, wanting to get something to eat. People are coming in here to get their merchandise. You can come in here and hang out with Ricky and I for a little bit if you'd like. We're giving away free stuff at the table. We got some giveaways.
Let's get into that. Okay, here we go. Let's look at the camera right now, which we have propped on a Rocket City Trash Pandas trash can right here. That's a Reed Detmers bobblehead. We're gonna give that away. You remember this thing?
Oh yeah.
I've got a hole I dug in 2020 with 15 Reed Detmers bobbleheads that I filled in. And I covered it with dirt, and occasionally I go back to that spot and I find one. And this is one of them from the hole I dug 3 years ago. You can get a pristine, mint condition Reed Detmers bobblehead in Trash Pandas apparel. That's right there. Also, in my hole in the desert where I buried things that I knew I would want to give away later, America's favorite astronaut, Sally, right there. Do you have the set? Do you have the astronaut set? There's Neil. There's Buzz. There's Sally. May there be another one this season? Tease, tease, tease.
I don't know. Do you?
Tease,
I don't know.
tease,
Do
tease,
you?
Tease. Maybe. Who would make that decision? I don't know. Certainly wouldn't be one of us. Wink, 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 wink. Anyways, Sally's right here. So if you want to get that collection started now, maybe, wink, wink, something comes later. I don't know. Right here, maybe, Halloween's coming up and you want to look like Paddington. Great movie. Everyone loves it. Look at Antonio. I want to cuddle up with him right now. The boy looks great.
That's giving more Paddington 2 vibes.
Paddington 2, is it the greatest movie ever made?
It's not the worst.
I agree. There it is. Look like Paddington. We got a couple of those. Look like Paddington. Drink like who's a famous drunk whose name ends in a
Ton?
maybe an English fella. Whatever. Anyways, we got what?
What's that Irish fella that fights? What's his name?
McGregor.
No, Patty, the other guy.
Paddington.
No, his name's Patty.
Patty the bat. Doesn't matter. We got wine. We got silicone wine cups. Okay, see that Trash Panda logo? It is in a package because it was produced. Why wouldn't it? It was real. It's in a package. It hasn't been used. We got proof right there. Rally towels. We got all kinds of things. And not to mention, we're in the team store. So, I mean, it's loaded with things. So if you're on your lunch break, if you come over here and you interrupt us at any point, I'll give you whatever you want. I mean, it's that serious. We're doing a podcast in a retail store, okay? It's come on. Come get it. We would love to give you some of this stuff.
And another one, too. This bad boy right here.
Oh.
See that guy?
Oh, Alabama's native son, Sonny DeShera. Right there, bobble version. Totally forgot about him. That is also available. So come check us out. What's the address? You know the address?
Hughes Road.
Hughes Road. We're right across the street from, City Hall over there, next to, One Love Coffee.
There's a State Farm in the parking lot.
I think there's a State Farm. There used to be a dry cleaners my mom used.
There's a Pokemon store
right over by, yeah, that wasn't a Pokemon. Dude, the karate place from Borat. You remember that scene where he does karate?
It's right here.
It's that used to be 3 doors down. Not the band, but literally. That's for real. So if you remember that karate scene and you know what I'm talking about, or if you just have a general idea of the city of Madison, you could probably get here pretty quickly.
That's right. You can come get some cool gear like what I'm wearing right now. I like my Pandas trashy.
Okay.
So
nice.
I don't know if they sell that. I don't know if
I like how that's your Friday shirt. I like my Pandas trashy.
Hey, man. It's Trashy Friday.
Cool.
You know?
This was one of the first shirts given to me. It fits. I don't think it fits well. I don't even think we sell it anymore. But I still got it. So it's got sleeves.
And look, we're getting assists from all over the place.
We're getting a note. We're getting a note from the back. Apparently, our botch of the address was so bad, it was written on paper. Thank you very much. 181 Hughes Road was the answer we were looking for. Mm-hmm. Not next to the dry cleaners my mom used when I was in elementary school.
And if you want to know which suite it is on 181 Hughes Road, it's not the one that says Pokey Collect on top. It's the one it says Trash Pandas.
Definitely not. Saw a kid walking out of there, though, with a big old box and his grandpa behind him. You know he just got a lot of things bought for him. It's going to be a good weekend for that kid. It can be a good weekend for you if you go to 181 Hughes Road, as we wrote down right here. Where can I put that where that will always be visible? Maybe right there. Perfect.
Nailed it. All right, Robert already in here watching us live. He says, "Hey guys, I've got my Reed Detmers and Sunday to share bobbleheads on my desk, but I need to get a jersey. I have to get the big one." Well, Robert, guess what?
We got big boys.
I see all kinds of stuff
Do we
around
got?
here. I
I'm
see
gonna go grab
jerseys
one. Hold on.
around
Let
here.
me go. That's what we're gonna do for you. I'll do a check. I'll look for your apparel right now. Amazon ain't got a dime on this kind of customer service. Hold on. Going for it.
I don't trust what Ricky's about to go and do. I feel like this whole stream's about to shut down. When you leave, you just
Nope. I found out almost immediately I am trapped by cords and wires.
You would
and
have to
things.
crawl
If I
under it
take
for
one
sure.
more step, this entire thing goes down.
Is our audio still connected? Are we still good? I'm
no
scared
chance.
now.
I don't even think we ever started recording. No, we're still good.
Oh, we're good.
Still
all right.
good. Yeah, get on over here, Roberto.
You know, by the way, we take all kinds of viewer requests and listener requests, and Win had given us that great idea the other day, Win Cole, to name our Mount Rushmore Trash Pandas. That was such a good idea that one of our media guys, Aaron Cheris, when he got back from his vacation, he came down to my desk. He was like, "Dude, that was such a good idea that I'm already thinking about like my all Trash Panda team, like
I get
pitcher,
that, yeah.
catcher, first, second, third,
He
short."
came to my desk. Same thing.
Yeah.
Probably right after he did it to you.
Yeah. So
Because he did it to the next 7 people he talked to in the office. I saw the chain of how it happened. I hear the story 7 different times.
it's a good idea too.
But it's a good one every time. And I was telling him, I'm like, dude, if you're going to do an all Pandas team, like, do we have enough years? And he's like, no, we got enough years. I'm like, well, I'll give you a challenge. What about the all obscurity team that me and Tony Mack started the other day? Because Cade Cabanis is an all-time,
That's right.
a lifetime
What
Hall of
position
Famer
did
first
he even
ballot.
play?
I think he was an infielder. We're going to get him on the podcast. I want him out of the game.
Because if we're going to do an all obscurity team, then we have to
And
we have to
gotta
at least
get
know
him
what he plays.
We got to get him like Torrey Hunter Jr. We got to get him in the knocker ball. And we got to have him take out an intern. You know, he didn't get to play a game here in front of our great fans.
And I wanted
Or
to
if he
take
did,
that
it was like
anger
one or
out.
two, and it was right before that COVID cancellation. That ain't real. That wasn't this.
And I want him to take the anger out that I know he has because he didn't get to play here very often on one of our interns in that knocker ball.
We're going to give this man a second chance major league debut. You ever heard of those second chance proms? Renewing your vows. This is it for him. This is a second chance major league outing.
Do we have measurables for almost said Cole? Do we have measurables for Cade? Because I feel like he's like a short, stocky kind of guy.
6'5",
Never
212.
mind. Okay.
Yeah. No,
6'5",
I don't know if that's true. I don't know if that's true.
Like he's such a mystery that when we were looking at his player profile the other day from 2021, he didn't even have a picture on it. So
He didn't. That was his last season. If you had to do an all Trash Pandas team, first baseman go.
is it too early to put Seanwell there because he only played like 12 games for us?
I don't think it is. I think if you
I'd
go
probably
by
put
game production, I think he might have been the best one.
I'd have to probably put David McKinnon there though.
Oh, that's a good point. McKinnon
Have to
was
go with
pretty
McKinnon.
good.
Seanwell's.
I'm going to go with Seanwell.
It's a nice flash in the pan, and he's going to be a guy we remember a lot. I'm assuming wink, wink, nod, nod. Don't know this for sure. If I know somebody that can make it happen, a Nolan Seanwell bobblehead probably coming. It could just be like the blank foot portion, and he's not even there because he wasn't even here.
We could design a Nolan Seanwell bobblehead and really design it on anybody because he only played in front of our fans for like 10 games. So
true.
I don't think they'd even know. We'd probably save a bunch of money if we didn't model it after him. We could just sell the stock one. Just a bald guy with no discernible features holding a baseball bat. Nolan Seanwell bobblehead night.
So
that wouldn't be right, though. I'm putting him first base.
I'm going to take David McKinnon. Who you got second base?
Kyron Paris.
I would have to go Kyron, too, because you have to put Zach Neto at shortstop.
Absolutely. And you could have gone Levon Soto at second base. He had a lot of great time, too. But Kyron's his season last year was just so good.
It was. And
it was an all-time season.
I'll put him there because JJ moved around a lot in the infield. Jeremiah Jackson did. And I already put him on my Trash Pandas Mount Rushmore. So I'm going to put Kyron Paris at second base on my all Trash Pandas team. Shortstop, obviously, is Zach Neto. Third base, who are you going with?
Jeremiah Jackson.
There you go. That's a good one. I'm going with the Gaucho. Mitch Ney.
Mitch Ney? No, I'm going Jeremiah
Jackson.
Jackson.
He was our first Southern League All-Star for the Trash Pandas. Mitch Ney at third base. Going with the All-Star third baseman.
Okay. Catcher.
Oh, Hoppy.
For sure. Unanimous. Center field.
Whitefield. He played all over the outfield, but I'm going to put Whitefield in center field.
Left field.
I don't know why I'm drawing a blank on a left fielder. Can I go with right field first?
Okay.
Orlando Martinez.
All right. Trey Cabbage.
There you go. That's
How about that?
There you go.
Yeah.
Cabbage. I put Cabbage in the outfield out there. So Cabbage, Whitefield, Orlando Martinez would be another good third outfielder. Starting pitcher.
Starting pitcher. Starting pitcher's
It's a rabbit hole.
I could go with any number of them. I'd go with Chase Silseth.
Obviously going to go with Reed Detmers.
I'm a Silseth guy. He was so good.
They go with Reed. You could always put a guy like Brett Carey on there. He's tied for the lead in franchise history for wins, strikeouts as well. So there's a bunch of dudes that you can go with, and then reliever. You'd have to have a relief pitcher.
Well, you didn't do left field. You never addressed left field.
I said Cabbage. I went with you.
So your right fielder's Orlando Martinez. Your left fielder's Trey Cabbage.
I'll just say my three outfielders. You could put them wherever, but Orlando Martinez, Aaron Whitefield, and Trey Cabbage would be my outfielders.
Yeah, I'll go with that too.
It's a stacked outfield.
That's a good one. I was thinking about Luis Aviles Jr. I really liked him that first year.
Dude, he came in and had 6 home runs in like 5 games.
He was really good.
I like saying his name too.
He was a fun person. He was great with fans. I remember after his last game, he boxed up his entire locker. Because remember that game was canceled due to COVID, so the fans were all there and no one got to play. He boxed up his entire locker worth of stuff, and someone gave it all out for him. He's giving cleats out to kids.
That's crazy.
And whatever. Of course, he was one of the guys that didn't test positive, or that would be against many rules. But
he had to turn around and play against us on opening day in 22, I believe.
He did. And he got kind of into a little bit of a fight.
Remember? Yeah, I don't remember that. No.
Dude, the catcher, I can't remember who it was, but he said something to him. And he looked back at him, and he used some adult language, but and pretty much said, "This is my house." Hey, you don't know about playing here yet. I know I'm not wearing the uniform anymore. Don't talk to me like that. And then he hit a home run.
Oh my gosh, who would the catcher have been? Could it have been Mulrine?
I think it was Caro.
Or
I think it was Edward Caro.
Caro didn't play for us last year in 22.
I thought it was. No. So it was Zach Humphreys.
There you go.
Zach Humphreys.
There you go.
Yes, I remember that. So him and Humphreys got into a little thing, and he looked back at him like, "This is my plate." It was crazy.
When he came back and played against us, I announced him like he was still playing for us because I'm showing our guys some love.
Yeah.
So, love. I have a sweet spot for Luis Aviles as well.
He's a good dude.
Yeah.
All right, so then relief pitchers. You can go with 2 of them?
That 2 of them would be much better. So, I could throw both my guys in there. But
go ahead.
Ben Joyce.
I think he's the flashiest of all the picks. I don't. He didn't do a ton while he was here.
All right.
He just wasn't here that long.
Eric Torres.
I'd have to go. I think I'd go Torres and Colton Ingram.
I was going to say Ingram, probably a really good choice.
Yeah.
So, yeah. If you're going to take Ben Joyce away from me, then I'll go Colton Ingram.
Yeah. Both guys who jumped in the portal.
Yeah.
As
hit
a
the
bit
portal
of a
hard.
help. As loosely.
You're welcome.
Yeah, assisted by us.
Hey, guys, in the portal,
process.
just if this message reaches you, I'm not sure what the time-space continuum looks like in that thing, but you're welcome. We miss you. We got you.
And if you're any youngsters in the Angels system and you're thinking, I can't wait for my dream to happen, what do I need to do? Yeah, hitting the cage is important. Working on fundamentals.
For sure.
Huge. But really the key is none of that stuff.
At nothing at all. Your work ethic, how much time you put into the game, living, breathing, and dying by the sport means absolutely nothing. All you need to do, get your headset, come on this podcast.
That's really all you need to do. Just set aside 35 minutes. Talk to us.
Ask Ben Joyce. Ben Joyce will tell you, look.
Put a hat on, look like Paddington.
Ben Joyce will tell you, he said, look, I used to eat 8 eggs every single morning when I woke up. I turned into Arnold Schwarzenegger from the Batman movie because they called me Mr. Freeze. I was in the ice bath so much. But then
time to chill.
I realized
I heard him yell that after he struck a guy out once. Did you know that?
I
heard it from the tunnel. Yeah, he threw 105 and he said, time to chill. Which is weird because he's throwing heat.
That's a good Arnold.
It's ironic.
And he was the fireman. So
chill out. All those puns from that Batman movie.
So
are
bad.
Hilarious,
They're so bad but awesome. So that was the Clooney Batman too, right?
That was. That's when he
Clooney,
had bat nipples.
Chris O'Donnell
Oh yeah.
was Robin.
Oh, I'm trying to think of more ice
Ow.
puns. I don't remember
I
anymore.
don't think that was a pun. It's more of just a noise.
No, that
Uma,
was at the end when they beat him. Yeah,
Uma Thurman was in it.
yeah.
She
Dude,
was
I loved that
Poison
movie
Ivy.
as a kid. And I grew up, and everyone was like, man, that movie sucked.
I
What
didn't
are you talking about? That was my favorite Batman movie. Then I
was
realized I had terrible taste.
Same, dude. I loved that one, and I loved the one where Tommy Lee Jones played Two Face, and
Batman Forever?
yeah, Jim Carrey played
Great
the
one.
Riddler.
Yeah. No, those are like the two worst. me and you loved them. Couldn't
I
get
would
enough of 'em.
turn the Batman Forever on repeat. Watch it on repeat over VHS. You'd have to rewind it. I'd rewind it.
Oh, I
Play it again.
No wonder my grandpa hated me as a kid. He'd probably be watching TV like Citizen Kane would be on and be like, whoa, Gramps, is that Batman Forever? What are you doing?
We show you a real movie, Grandpa.
Flip it on. I know you're watching Bridge Over the River Kwai. I don't care. Did you see what's on? Come on, man.
Well, you can go with the wind, Grandpa. I'm not watching that crap anymore. I want to see Tommy Lee Jones. I want to see him right now.
You know what else gone with the wind? Your mind, Grandpa. And I'm gonna throw your old war medals off the bridge. What do you think about that? 'Cause I'm jacked up off Mountain Dew.
Oh man, I'm sure my parents whenever my parents put a TV in my room finally.
Yeah.
I bet that was probably the happiest day of their life because I was the kid that when I liked a movie. Now, I'm not talking about when I was like a little kid. You watch like Bluey and Miss Rachel on repeat like my son does.
Yeah.
I'm talking about like a full feature length film. I would watch it and then rewind it and start it again immediately. I would watch it over and over and over again. And you want to know the one I remember? There's two movies that I remember watching the absolute most on repeat.
What?
Number one, well, I would say number one. This is going to be the less obscure. Little Nicky, Adam Sandler movie. I used to watch that one on repeat over and over and over again.
Cool.
When I rented it. And the other one, I watched it even more because we owned it. You remember the Leave It to Beaver remake?
Dude, barely.
Over and over and over. It had the kid from that Disney Channel
You
original
loved
movie
it that
Brink.
much?
I loved that.
Did you
movie.
watch the original show? How did you have such a
I
connection
knew of
to the
it.
beef?
I just we had the movie and I watched it and I loved it. And it's
Yeah.
got the dad in the movie is what's his name? Shooter McGavin plays the dad in that movie.
Shooter.
The guy that played the original Eddie Haskell is the plays Eddie's dad in that movie. And I don't know who the kid is that played Beaver.
Nobody
But
does.
the kid who played his older brother is you remember the Disney Channel original movie Brink?
No. Oh yeah, actually,
Yeah,
yeah, I do
the-
remember the rollerblading one.
Yeah, the main character. He plays his older brother in Leave It to Beef. So,
Cool. We should watch that some. You have the
I
best
love that
movie
movie.
suggestions, man.
I love that movie.
I haven't
I
watched.
need to-
I'm still catching up to Blue Chips.
I need to add that movie to my my voodoo,
That's good. Yeah.
my weird obscure voodoo.
Yeah. That the idea of watching a movie and then rewinding it and watching the entire thing immediately after is crazy.
Over
but,
and over
But I respect it.
and over again as a kid. I did that.
You weren't like at all like bummed out because you knew exactly what was going to happen.
Loved it.
Because you just watched it.
I loved knowing what was going to happen.
Okay.
So
I think I'm allergic to my Paddington hat. Did you hear that my hat just fell?
what was that?
Sorry, I had to sneeze. No, it's just seasonal.
I thought it was a fake sneeze.
No, that's just seasonal allergies.
I thought that was a legit fake
No,
sneeze. I thought you were
wanted to s-
going somewhere with
I don't
that.
have. We're on location. I don't have a mute button. I had to do it.
I thought you were legitimately going somewhere with that, and that was a fake sneeze.
No, no.
And you were like, "Oh, I thought you were about to plug something." I was legitimately gonna like try to get into it, but
No.
okay. You're just actually sick. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, we're good.
I'm not sick. I think it was a nose hair tickled the other side, and that gets me every time.
my mustache is long under here, and it gets
Mhm.
up in there. So
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
You didn't have to point to your nose and stick it in there. I know what you're talking about.
So you didn't have a movie you watched on repeat all the time?
I mean, I had movies that were my favorite. Dumb and Dumber, I probably saw 2,000 times. Tommy Boy, like all those like comedies of the mid '90s were like all my favorite.
Nothing obscure though.
As a little kid, but never like would I watch it and then rewind it and watch it all over again and then rewatching it, and like I couldn't do that. I couldn't do it. If I watch a movie, like I can't watch it again for like a while. The
Well-
thing that's awesome for me is my short-term memory's awful. So when I watch a movie, if I wait a day or even a week or I give it time. When I watch it again, it's all pretty new.
So that's my problem now. Now as an adult, I've got a pretty good memory.
Yeah.
And I remember, for whatever reason, if I like a movie, like if I watch it and I'm not paying much attention, or I watched it once and I didn't care for it, I'd have to watch it again. But if I watch a movie and I really like it, like I know what's happening, I know what's coming, I kind of know the formula, so I really don't rewatch movies a whole ton anymore unless I really, really like them. Like,
That was just a childhood thing.
yeah, it was just me as a kid. I don't sit there and rewatch the same
I
movies
get
over and
that.
over and over again anymore. But now I have to watch my son do that. Like we watch Miss Rachel all the time, and if he doesn't really sit down and pay attention to movies yet, but if we do, the two movies that have been on our TV the most is Cars, which I
Yeah.
saw for the first time like 2 months ago.
How you like it? I've
Had
never
seen
seen
it before. I like it. By the way, I wouldn't say that to many people because
No,
you
I
will get
know.
roasted for that.
No, I was gonna say I don't
Because
publicize that. It's one of those movies when you tell people they get personally
yes,
offended.
yeah, I trust me, I know. I've had so many people mad at me for that.
You've never seen Cars? Like, yeah,
Yeah,
sorry.
it came out when I was like
didn't-
15.
I didn't
Like
have
I didn't.
time.
I was
I was into girls. What am I gonna go watch Cars?
Cars came out in 2006.
I can't.
I was a freshman in high school. I was
Right,
15
right.
years old. I missed that one. I'm sorry.
I'm trying to get girls to notice me, and I'm gonna go see Cars in
And
theater.
then they're like,
What
"You
was
haven't
that, a
seen
death
Cars
wish, dude?
2?" And I'm like, "Cars 2 came out in like 2011. I was in college. I think that's when those came out."
Oh man. Yeah.
So-
Nah. All right, hey, thanks for the review on Cars. We
Yeah.
should do a thing where we review a movie that's been out for 25 years, but we do it like it's brand new. Jim Gaffigan used to have a joke like that. He's like, I watched Heat the other night. You know, Heat came out in 1995.
Yeah.
And then I was so happy when I got to work because it was such a great movie, but then no one wanted to talk to me because I was like, hey, does anyone want to talk about Heat? The guy was like, didn't that movie come out like 15 years ago? Yeah. That's how I feel.
I wanted to talk about Heat, but then I realized it's 2010,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, every movie we reference is like from that era. We talked an hour for Nick Nolte and the movie Blue Chips.
I still haven't watched it. by the
Still
way.
haven't. It looks great. I saw it referenced just out in the world the other day, and I was like, "Is this Blue Chip?"
I think right after that on cue, I've got a very Brady Vacation.
You have the digital version of that one, is
I
that
do.
right? You have the digital download.
I do, yeah.
Is that what you're savoring your Voodoo account?
I need to add the Leave It to Beaver one on there, and we're gonna have to watch Ed together one day. Like we legitimately are gonna have to get together and
No doubt.
watch Ed, which stars Joey from Friends, Matt LeBlanc, and Primate. That I would imagine same monkey that got a lot of work in movies. It was probably the
That's what we need to do when we come to the store on Fridays. There's a TV over there. It's showing an old Braves game. What we need to instead do is a watch along, where for an hour and a half we watch that movie about Joey from Friends and a monkey being teammates on a baseball team, and then we invite people to come watch it with us. Robert probably come.
hey man, come hang out with us and watch Ed.
Yo, you want to watch Ed at a clothing store at like noon on a weekday? What do you think?
Thinking of
That's hip, dude. If we were doing that in like an old barn, that would be like
Yeah.
very trendy.
Thinking of that monkey from Ed, it reminded me of another movie I used to watch over and over again. Remember Dunstan Checks In?
Bro, do I? Dunstan was checking in at my house all the time.
Same.
Great movie. Well, he's checking in your
Rewind it.
house every hour and a half.
Yeah, rewind it, watch it again.
But he's got frequent flyer miles.
Maybe take it out, pop in the Rugrats movie.
Maybe, if there's time.
I liked that one though because it was like the yellow VHS.
See, look,
Or
Robert
the orange, I mean.
Robert said, hell yeah, I'll watch Ed.
Come on down,
Dude, we just set up a viewing party. What about you, Virgil?
yeah,
I'm
come
going to
down.
ignore that Leave It to Beaver remake as the Cade Cavanis of movies because I feel bad now. I feel bad for the Leave It to Beaver movie, and I feel bad about Cade.
I don't even know what the Leave It to Beaver movie got.
Because
Rotten
someday
Tomatoes,
he's gonna come back, and we're gonna give him the Trash Panda
but, like if we watched it now,
appearance he deserved.
I guarantee you this would go straight to DVD. This would be a straight to DVD
Which
movie.
one?
But I think
Leave It to
Leave It to
Beaver?
Beaver. Look at the.
Look at the beef. Look at the poker. I don't know why they're making the movie. I don't know. Nostalgia. What
It
can I
got
say?
it got a 32 from the audience on Rotten Tomatoes and a 21 from the critics. So.
Virgil's in. We just doubled our numbers for Ed watch party.
Would
next
that not
week.
be cool? Come in, like, hey, come hang out with us at the Trash Panda store. We're gonna watch a movie over here. And we're gonna hang out.
Yeah. We'll get some extra mics in here too if you want to like say some stuff.
What team did Ed play for? Because I
They
want
had
a
red
jersey.
hats.
I want a jersey.
They had red. They were red and white. Paddington. Paddington had a red hat.
Ed The movie.
And you can have a red hat too. If you come on down to oh, it's upside down. 118 Hughes Road, Trash Pandas team store, where you can not only get some of the best merchandise in minor league baseball, but you can get some free stuff, bobbleheads, cups, hats, towels. Got it all, man. What are you looking at? You're looking very...
The description for the movie
something.
Ed.
Okay.
Jake Cooper, Matt LeBlanc, could be a world-class baseball pitcher if he didn't keep buckling under the pressure. He tried to keep his spirits up after he's traded to a minor league team, but loses all hope when he discovers that Ed, one of his teammates, is a chimp. Ed used to be the team mascot, but was promoted to third base when the owners realized he had a talent for baseball.
Can I say something? We do this every 3 months probably, where we get hyped up on the movie Ed, and then we read the synopsis out loud, and we laugh about it, and then it takes like 30 minutes, and by the end of the thing, you're like, we don't even have a show. We just talked about Ed for an hour. This is probably the third time we've done this. What is happening?
We haven't watched it yet. I need to, as Jack struggles to get used to his new surroundings.
We're so curious about this movie that we just keep doing everything but watching it.
I didn't know that they promoted him from the mascot to third base.
They were short. They probably had a year like the Pandas. Probably a lot of guys getting called up. Probably a lot of movement, a lot of youth. They said, "Look, we can get this kid, but look, how are we going to get him here from California?" They go, "Look, we got a primate in the tunnel."
You want to guess?
Pretty lengthy.
What it got on Rotten Tomatoes?
6.
A 6.
No way.
It got a 6.
Oh God, I lost my Paddington hat again. I can't believe I got that right.
It got a 6 on Rotten Tomatoes. But we still, okay, so you want to talk about going off the rails and losing the show a little bit.
Now Robert's doing it. He says the name is the Santa Rosa Rockets. That's the name.
Nice.
Ed. This is our podcast for 6 months is about the Trash Pandas. For 1 month out of the year, it's about this movie, Ed.
And Blue Chips.
It's about obscure movies made in the 80s and 90s around sports.
I've got a thing for it, man.
I do
love
too. I know. Hey, I'm right here with you. We fall into the trap every single time.
So if you want to get back on the rails, and
were we ever on it?
No, we weren't. But you're talking about here. Currently, they're playing an old Braves game. I believe it's last night, the game where the Braves ended up beating the Cubs and clinching. Not only home field, they clinched home field advantage in the National League 2 nights ago. Last night they clinched home field advantage throughout the entirety of the postseason, as long as they're still alive. But 2 nights ago, when the night where they were playing to clinch the NL home field, and the Cubs are still fighting for a playoff spot. They've lost like 3 games in a row now. They got swept by the Braves, but they're fighting for that third wild card spot. There was a moment in the game in extra innings, and I'm very curious about this. I know what a lot of old baseball heads are going to say, and there's a whole thing surrounding Acuna stealing 70 bases anyway, but Acuna in the 10th inning of that game drove in the tying run and then stole second base to become the first ever player in the history of Major League Baseball to hit for 40 home runs and steal 70 bases in the same season. So when that happened, when he stole that 70th base in a tie game in the bottom of the 10th inning, they paused, they stopped time in the game. Acuna took the base out. They switched bases, and then they played a montage on the video board for him. The Cubs radio broadcast was not happy about it. They were really upset because they stopped the flow of that game. Again, Braves had something to play for. They were playing to clinch home field advantage in the National League, and the Cubs were still are fighting for a playoff spot, the third wild card. They're half a game out of the third wild card spot. So I'm curious, as a Braves fan, I'm trying to take fandom out of it. Are they just being the old head baseball fans, spurn Cubs broadcasters? Do they have a point?
All right, at first glimpse when I saw this, that's what I thought. I'm like, baseball is the king of just no-nonsense outrage. Let's be mad about something. But then I heard you talking about it. How long was the montage?
I have no idea. But I don't think it matters.
Well, look, if you're going to play a 5 to 10 minute montage, that's kind of a big break to be watching a video during an active baseball game. You're already taking the base out. I'm cool with taking the base out. Visually, that's just a cool thing for a guy that stole that many bases. That makes sense. You've seen the clip of Ricky Henderson holding the base. Like that's a thing. I'm fine with that. But then if you do that and then you show a 5 to 10 minute video in the middle of an extra inning game, that means a lot
Yeah.
to both teams and really a lot to Chicago. Looking at it at an unbiased way, I get where they're coming from.
I agree with them actually. I was the same as you. I'm sitting there like, dude, can we stop with the like? It's a huge accomplishment. At first, I thought they were just mad that they stopped time to take the base out. Like you can do it after the game if you want, but I like in the moment, I get it. It's a big moment. You should be able. You're at home. You should be able to do that. You should be able to have that moment. But I didn't realize they played a montage until like the next morning, and I'm like, okay, well now I know where they're coming from because you just, if anything, I mean, I don't. It affects both. It affects the pitcher and it affects the hitter. But the pitcher is definitely affected by it. But again, the Cubs were fighting for a playoff spot. The Braves were fighting for home field advantage, and you kind of interrupted the rhythm of the baseball game right there. Regardless of what the reason is, I understand where the Cubs broadcast is coming from. But I do like that Acuna was able to lift that base up. He stole it, that 70th base. You absolutely should be able to switch that. But the video, probably could have
You
waited.
can be prepared for that too. You know that the stolen base is coming any game now. You have another base ready to go. You get your grounds crew in there. You pull it in, you put it out.
Exactly.
You really don't miss much.
It's in and
Nothing
out.
more
It's,
than a mound meeting or something
yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah, exactly. You're doing the standing ovation
Yeah.
and waving while they're switching out the base.
I mean,
That's
remember when
easy.
Tom Brady threw that one touchdown and then Mike Evans threw his football in the crowd? Which one was that? Was that like his all-time leading touchdown football?
Yeah, I think so.
They didn't air a 5 minute video for Tom Brady afterwards, did they? They just
No.
kept playing with the game.
Yep.
If you don't play a video for Tom Brady setting the all-time home run or touchdowns record, is there a video when? What's another big record that's recently been? I mean, our team's even giving Miguel Cabrera stuff like that, and in his final season, as he does his farewell tour, like the Oakland A's got him a bottle of wine and a photo op, like one of these.
Go
Hey,
back and
all
look
right,
at
we're
some
out.
of the teams that got him some cool stuff, and
Like
they did
custom
get him some cool stuff.
surfboards and all of these things.
The A's got him a $90 bottle of wine.
Yeah. Doesn't he have a drinking problem too? That's what I kept saying. Like, which I get. I mean, if you're known for your wine, it's not like you're giving alcohol to an alcoholic just to do it. You're toasting a thing in the local area, but you didn't have. I don't know, whatever. But the 5 to 10 minutes, that's a lot. If it was 5 to 10, I don't know.
I don't know how long it was, but
Really
I think
even.
interrupting for a video is a little much because it interrupts the rhythm. I don't know how long. I think 60 to 90 seconds is too much
I
because
agree.
you're talking about stopping time to get the base out, replace it, and then on top of that, do the standing ovation, and then on top of that, I'll play the montage. It's too much time.
I'll give you a video, and I'll give you the amount of time it takes the grounds crew to put a new base in.
Yep.
30 to 60-second video is going to do exactly what that other video accomplished.
Right. I agree.
If it wasn't already 30 or 60. So I'm going to research that because we do a very thorough show here. Okay. Braves, Acuna, 40-70 video. 2 minutes. No, okay. I don't know if that's the actual. Let's see. Steals 70th base. Let's see how long this thing is. Or did big second base make sure that this video was scrubbed off the internet, huh?
I don't know. You clicked
You
the
ever
play
think of
button
that?
and it didn't play it, so I'm thinking
When
it's
does
safe
that
to
ever
say.
happen? When has that ever happened? Ever. Anytime you press play on anything, it plays. Sometimes.
We're
We're going to
already
do a
going really
video
well.
analysis. There's an ad. Do we have a problem with the ad? Am
No.
I now mad at Wendy's for making me wait even longer?
Looks
for
like the
this?
video's 45 seconds, steals the base.
Okay, we're standing. We're waving. Okay, fans are going nuts.
Takes
We're ripping
the
the
base
base out. Where it's been 13 seconds. He's wiggling. He's wiggling. He's almost got it. 20 seconds. The base is out. He has held it up. He has stolen that base. It is all his. All right, so they're going to have to get out here. They're going to have to fix this thing. Okay, the guys are out. Start the video. Let's start the clock. That's at the 30-second mark. There's 15 more seconds. We haven't seen one video yet. We're just seeing a graphic.
I don't know if they played it on the broadcast. I know they put it on the video board.
Yeah, but
so.
no one's looking yet. Okay, so the base,
They just showed them take the base out.
it looks like they probably delayed the game a pretty good bit, especially if the Cubs guys were that mad. So
They were not
I
happy.
think I'm on their side. I'm with the Cubbies. How are you, ma'am? Welcome in. Need any help with anything? All right. She's very confused as to what's going on.
Well, yeah, you look like Paddington with a microphone.
Oh,
So I
I
don't.
forgot about that. Yeah, that's a good point. Looks like we broke in. All right. Well, maybe she'll come back over here when you talk to her.
So,
I
but
don't know.
I'm kind of on the side of the Cubs broadcast. I get where they're coming from. I understand it. So and another thing about baseball last night, I thought this was really cool. But a really cool moment was made for somebody out of a really bad moment for the player. But Bryce Harper, latest victim of Angel Hernandez, awful umpire.
Angel.
The union that he's in won't get rid of him. He can't call a World Series or do anything cool because he stinks at
Because
his
he
job. The
stinks,
court
yeah.
literally found him guilty of being bad at his job, and the union won't fire him, so they're stuck with him.
Wasn't
And
that a real thing? A court found him.
yeah, they
Didn't he
legit.
sue because
He sued
he said it
because
was
it was because he was Hispanic that they wouldn't let him call a World Series, and they had to
yeah.
actually do like I don't know if it was a legit trial, but
Oh.
they had to go to court over it, and the finding was the judge told him like, hey, um, our findings suggest that it wasn't because had anything to do with you being Hispanic. It had to do with you not being very good at your job.
Could
So,
there be a more embarrassing way to lose something in court? I
and then he
mean,
has to
man,
go
like
out
at
there
least
and still do
sometimes,
his job.
like
Eh,
the jury, they looked at all the evidence, Angel, and it turns out they're 100% positive that you're just not any good. We found literally 0% other reasons
yeah.
why you're not calling the game. Our apologies. That'll be $5,000 in court costs. You idiot.
So last night, Bryce Harper got called out on a check swing, and they appealed under third base. It was called a ball. They appealed under third base, and he rung him up, and it was very clearly a check swing. It was very clearly a check swing. Bryce gets ejected immediately as he's marching down to third base. And it's what's funny is John Boy. I don't know if you follow John Boy, but he breaks down videos like that, and he broke it down, and you can see Angel telling him when Bryce is like, Angel tells him, "You swung," and Bryce is like, "There's no way, no blinking way." And you can see Angel tell him several times. He goes, "You'll see, you'll see." No, you'll see, Bryce. You'll see. We saw, and he didn't swing. He didn't swing at all. So Angel looks like an idiot again. But Bryce, on his way out, he takes his helmet off and he just chunks it into the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
And a kid that happens to be Bryce Harper happens to be his favorite baseball player happened to catch that helmet. And was on TV, got to show himself wearing it. Bryce went to security after finding that out, and he was like, "I want to sign that kid's helmet." So
You know what they say. Every time Angel Hernandez blows a call, a kid gets a batting helmet. And at least somehow we found a way to recycle these bad calls into positive things for the community. So God bless Angel Hernandez and the giving ways of Bryce Harper when he flung his own batting helmet at a high speed at a child.
if Bryce Harper didn't have the temperament of a third grader and Angel Hernandez wasn't bad at his job, that kid never would have a Bryce Harper helmet. So
There you go. Angel, you putz. Is that the only move for an umpire when you're like, oh crap, I think I made a bad call, and now the dude's going to call me out, and he knows I made a bad call? I think that's your only move. You go, oh yeah, well, you see it on the tape, pal.
you have to bag.
You'll see it on the tape, because when he sees the tape, you won't be there anymore, so you can just leave.
What would so
He's like, wait a minute, Angel, you got me.
I'm glad you brought that up because I think about that more often than I should and mainly in baseball because you're just way more. They show the umpires and the managers. The managers can get away with saying a lot more before they get ejected.
Oh yeah,
Football coaches can go and like, "Are you kidding me?" Blah 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 blah. But you say half of what a Major League Baseball manager says, you're going to get probably suspended in football. But in any sport, you argue with umpires, you argue with whatever. But my thing is baseball is easier to discuss this about, but what's better? Is it better for Angel Hernandez to tell Bryce Harper and stick by his call in the moment? Be like, no, dude, you swung. You swung. Even if he knows in the back of his mind, nah, he didn't swing. Like, you swung. That was the decision I made. You swung. You swung. Or is it worse for him? Is it worse for him to stick with his call, I mean? Or is it worse for him to admit he was wrong on the spot? Like, hey, I got that one wrong. My bad.
If you're Angel, you can't admit it because you're just always so wrong. That if
Exactly.
you get it wrong,
Yeah.
people are gonna be like, hey, stop, like, stop doing that. You're like, why
baffles
is he
me
still calling games?
That even his union keeps
How
around.
he really is like, how does that dude? How is he still a professional umpire? Like,
It's baffling.
He is known for being bad. That's his biggest quality. It's
My
not
my two
batting.
favorite blow ups at Angel Hernandez is the Bryce Harper one, number two. My favorite was, I think it was earlier this year. If not, it was last year. But when Kyle Schwarber lost his mind on Hernandez.
What are his employee reviews like at the end of the year?
Hey, you're in a union. We can't do anything about it, man. So
Does the union ever go to him like, "Hey, Angel, man, we got your back. Could you just, I don't know, man, like read the rule book one more time, just one more time, just make sure you got it all. You're 100% positive on, just one more time, please, because we are taking shrapnel out here for you, bro. Our last four union bosses have quit, and they didn't just like they didn't leave. They snapped clipboards on their way out, man. We have no more clipboards. Our clipboard budget has been destroyed by you.
it's ridiculous.
My life is a living hell due to your actions. So I got you a rule book. Just read it once. That's all I want. Do you hear how desperate this person probably is? They have to be at this point. It happens every year.
Dude, it's the worst. The worst. So
That guy couldn't umpire his way out of a 181 Hughes Road. Am I right? I don't know what that means.
but I mean, luckily, at least he is being rightfully so kept out of big postseason games. So
Yeah.
And
no,
speaking
he's,
of,
he's garbage.
watching that moment where Acuna stole that base, so that sequence that happened.
Timeout.
Uh-oh.
Random idea that just hit me. Since we're in the merch store, Angel Hernandez trash cans.
I mean, that's for the deep baseball fan.
The deep baseball
that's for
fan
the
will
deep
love that.
baseball
That
fan.
hits on a national level. The Trash Panda Angels Hernandez trash can.
I like that. I like that a lot. I'd buy one.
We probably can't use his likeness, but we'll put wings on it.
Hey, Angel,
We'll dress it like an umpire and put wings on the back.
just go to the union and be like, hey, look, either fire that guy or make him let us use his likeness on a trash can.
Hey,
Good news is, Angel, you get to keep your job. The bad news is you're going to be your face is going to be on every garbage can in Major League Baseball.
it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great for you. It's gonna make you a lot of money. And I'm gonna be honest with you, it's a take it or leave it because you are awful. You are an absolute liability.
We do not enjoy you.
I cannot stand you at all.
I do I almost feel bad sometimes when you look at their faces out there when you can see the moment where they're sticking up for their call but they know they got it wrong. Like I don't believe Angel believed, even though he was telling him, look, you'll see. In his face, I don't think he believed it. I think he knew God again, I did this again. So
I don't know.
do they not go to eye doctors? Do they not have to legally do that?
The thing is, I don't think his vision's a problem. I think his decision making is a problem. He is bad at decision making. His
Yeah.
vision's probably fine. That's the worst part.
Something else you have to throw in there too, and I'm not trying to take up for any official. I know you get this a lot in basketball and baseball, but and we've had an NBA official or a former NBA official come out and admit it before that they're biased towards and against certain players. But I mean, that clearly plays a factor, right? I believe that. I'm not saying just for Angel Hernandez, but in professional sports, I know we've seen it in basketball, but in Major League Baseball too, I guarantee you there are umpires that are very quick to say he swung or he didn't based on how he feels about that player that's hitting.
That definitely goes into it. I
Has
think.
to. Has
Definitely. It goes into anything.
Mhm.
I mean, that's just life, dude. If you like a person, you subconsciously, maybe without even knowing it, might do something to help that person out. Where if you don't, and it's a tiebreaker in your head, you got to make a quick call. I don't like this guy. It's going to go against
It was
him.
Bryce Harper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's probably said stuff about him in the past, which who hasn't at this point, you know?
Also, I'll say this about him throwing it. You can look up the video if you want. I feel like if you're Angel Hernandez and you are known for being bad, so you throw quite a few people out of games, I would imagine, through Bryce Harper out there. His you're at it needs some work, in my opinion. If you're a guy who has to throw a lot of people out of a game, you need to have a very memorable yeah.
I think I think the key to having a good throw out is throwing out an umpire that's in the wrong. Now, see, Angel's always in the wrong. So if he has a good throw out, then it's like, oh, whoa, I know you didn't just give me a A-list throw out, bro. You shouldn't even be throwing me out in the first place. So I think Angel goes in there sheepishly. He knows.
Watch. I have to. Oh, that's the John Boy breakdown. Here we go.
He's like, the last thing I need are people pointing eyes on me because it usually goes negatively.
Watch him over here. When Bryce is going to go over there and get mad at him. Here
Let's
you go.
see. Look, he's walking on that third base line. He is fired up.
That was solid.
That was pretty good. He had a little leg kick there.
It was solid.
See, because it was far apart when he did it, so he had to do a long toss.
Yeah.
It's weird how you but if we're talking like this, sometimes you go, yeah, just like he won't even.
I just feel like he should have it should be a staple. Like there's getting thrown out, but then there's the angel way. You know what I mean? Because he does it so often. Like I feel like he needs to have his own way.
I feel like if you're an umpire and you throw a guy out, you should have to walk them out. Like
that would be sweet.
You know, like if you're going to toss me, you better be ready to toss me like
yeah.
yeah.
You better
like
be able to
pay
walk
the cover charge.
You better be ready to walk me to the showers.
I think a lot of guys would a lot of umpires. Remember that guy that threw out JT Realmuto in spring training?
Yeah.
Just because he thought he threw the ball at him, but he didn't. Yeah, you're out of here. And guy looks at him. He's like, "What? What are you talking about?"
JT went like this, waiting for the ball, and he thought, like, because the umpire hadn't put it in his glove yet, it had been a couple seconds, he thought that he threw it to the pitcher, so he just moved his glove. But as he moved his glove, the umpire dropped the ball, and the umpire is Charmin tissue soft, got upset, and then for that,
schoolboy
threw him out of the game.
Some kid did that to him when he was 8, and that flash memory hit him. For 2 seconds, he didn't know where he was.
He's got Bourbon Dad at home. He has a Bourbon Dad, but he was baseball.
Have a good one, ma'am. All right. She was very confused, but we appreciate her for coming in and getting a big old bag of merch. She got a lot of stuff.
That umpire.
Where'd she get it? At 181 Hughes Road. That's where.
That's right.
Anyways, what were we saying?
Well, we were talking about that umpire who threw him out for dropping the ball.
Oh gosh.
That guy, like, he has a Bourbon Dad at home when he was a kid, and that's what happened.
That's it.
His version of his Bourbon Dad used to do that to him all the time.
How's it going? It's a great hat. You're gonna like that one.
Great choice.
Yes. Someone trying on the 3930 Trash Pandas Clubhouse 22 cap. It's a very nice one.
Good cap.
It's great.
I didn't even notice the shirt that I'm wearing. We're literally right by the rack.
Right there. It's right there.
It's pretty cool.
Look at that hat. She did not come back with that hat. She might be buying it. Instant winner, I think. Yep, just some of the great deals and merch you can take advantage of today if you come over here. I mean, we're leaving soon, so I guess you don't want anything. It's cool.
I want to go back to the conversation we were just having. I love that idea, like, a lot.
What?
That if you throw someone out, you have to escort them to the locker room.
You should have to be able to get me off that field.
Think about all the good ones we've had, like when Andy gets thrown out here at home, or all those times Bobby Cox got thrown out. You mentioned JT.
You got the man advantage. You got 3 umps to 1 manager. You can do it. I've seen some of our umps. Well, one guy was like 6'8". He could pick up a guy. Come on,
dude. Can we find a way to work that into a promotion? Like, you're gonna get thrown out of the game unless you can avoid our security for X amount of time.
That'd be a pretty good game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know.
I
I feel like that'd be a game we wouldn't be allowed to do. After we did it the first time, that'd be a great game. Mm-hmm. Winner gets an Angel Hernandez trash can.
And you would have to play that song too.
The Benny Hill. Yeah. Wonder if I got that on here.
That'd be a good one to have.
Nah, who cares?
So come check out the Trash Pandas team store. We don't have this here. This was a giveaway of ours. We are giving this away if you are to come here in the next few minutes. But there's plenty of merch. You can get this awesome shirt that I'm wearing, that awesome hat that lady just bought, whatever that was in that bag of stuff that lady walked out with. I don't know what it was, but I know it was awesome because I'm looking at every single thing in here.
Looked like she had a pillow in there. It was so full. Or maybe she did. It could have been a Trash Pandas cuddle buddy.
Everything in here it could have been.
Could have been.
So come check it out over here at where, Ricky?
Do you mean 181 Hughes Road?
I think I do mean 181 Hughes Road.
What I'm talking
you
about.
Can come check out the Trash Panda team store here. You can come check They're at the stadium at 500 Trash Panda Way. We are going to head out of here. We hope you have a great weekend, great college football weekend. You messed up the thing. Look at the color.
Oh, I got the white balance all goofed up.
Look at that. It's a good time to leave.
No.
So you know what I'll do before we leave, since Ricky messed that up?
Uh-huh.
Go ahead, take us a little tour real quick before we get out of here. Check it out. Look at all that up there. See
this
those?
is a good idea.
Yes.
Go down a little bit. Give me a little down. Yeah, that's good.
All
right, now start. Give me a right to left pan. Kind of slowly, though, and not so shaky. Oh, that's good. Yeah, that's nice. Keep it going. There it is, folks. Look at all that. Ooh, look at the casual walk by.
To wall.
All right. That's good stuff.
Trash panda stuff. Whoa, hey, whoa.
Yeah, and so, well, that's an angle nobody wants. Probably.
Get trying to get the hats
Let's
back
go
here.
ahead and
All right. 181 Hughes Road, Trash Panda Store. It's been the Bullpen. Have a good weekend. We'll see you next week.